Hey guys, it's a crazy market we are in right now because Trump, if he decided to reverse these tariffs, then stocks are going to rip back to all-time highs. We don't think he'll do that, but you never know. But even if he just lowers the tariffs, which is why stocks have been rallying here, is because number one, data hasn't come out too weak yet, right? The jobs report was crucial, and obviously earnings have kept stocks up. But just know the data will get weaker as we move forward if nothing changes with these tariffs, okay? They need to come down considerably. And so that's what's crazy. It's either the market, Trump reverses course or lowers the tariffs dramatically and then stocks rally, they go higher. Or if he stays on course with what he's doing and he doesn't negotiate much, then stocks, I think, will roll back over, okay? But it all comes down to how much tariffs are lowered and how many countries, right, we lower that. But in the end, these have gone into effect, and I believe it's more of the consumer goods, obviously, that are going to be hit hard by these tariffs, which eventually, affects the consumer as well. But jobs for now are holding up. Some people thought jobs were going to come in negative on this last report, and they came in a lot higher than consensus. So that's buoying this rally for now. But like I said, down the road is when things can get very interesting, where I do think stocks are going to roll back over. So don't think we're out of the woods. This is the time to be cautiously optimistic, but definitely have your stop losses in, guys. If you don't want to lose the gains that we've just seen, over the last week, we've had a stellar rally from the lows, guys. If you were buying in then when I was putting out videos. And so don't get too greedy. Like I said, I'd be trimming. And I already, in my short-term account, besides a couple stocks, I already took my gains because I'm not messing around in this market, because I got the long-term account, obviously, as you know, with the same stocks. So where I can truly see what's possible down the road. That's why I like having two separate accounts, one long-term, which is 5+ years, where I don't sell anything and just buy big dips along the way, which we just saw over the last month. And then the short-term account, where you take advantage of companies with fresh positive news, right? You look at RSI to get your good entry points, and you watch the VIX to see the fear gauge, which way it's going. Remember, if that's going up, then stocks are likely going down, and it's more risk off. And if the VIX is falling, that's a good sign where you can, take more risk with stocks in the market. So it'll be interesting to see what Trump does, but it's crazy to think it's a bipolar market, right? That's why the market is so choppy right now, is because some people believe, we're going to get a deal done with China. Tariffs are going to come down dramatically or maybe get reversed, and then stocks will rip back up, especially the tech stocks, right? The AI ones, which are already slowly but surely coming back, okay? But it's either that he reverses, or like I said, if he keeps going where he's at, we're going to see problems with the next earnings reports. Obviously, the 90-day tariff pause, the reciprocal tariff pause, remember, that's going to be over by the time the next earnings are reported. So if that isn't figured out by then, you better believe, management of companies are going to be lowering their guidance, and then that's where we can see, a real downfall, the next downturn with stocks. So just be aware of that, guys. We are not out of the woods. Consider this a nice oversold bounce and rally on hopes, right, that these tariffs are going to come down. But right now it's just hope, guys. We haven't really made headway, but it's good to see that President Xi of China is talking about fentanyl, and that's kind of like an icebreaker, they're saying, where Trump and Xi both are trying to make progress with fentanyl, that whole crisis that's going on. So if they can start talking through that, lowering something there, and then it could lead to other tariffs being reversed or lowered as well. So but that's why stocks are up. Data has come in okay still. It's not showing a recessionary environment yet, but like I said, down the road is where there could be more problems if nothing changes. And then, so we saw a good jobs report. We have seen other numbers that haven't been bad. And then earnings have held up, obviously, too, which is why stocks are doing well, why a lot of these have bounced back. But again, I'm going to say this in the short-term account, have your stop limits in, guys, in the profit zone. So no matter what, if things want to roll back over, that you are locking in these wins we've gotten over the last week.